Welcome back, everybody, to Hercule Poirot's The First Cases. It is your favorite vampire, Aveline here. And, yeah. So, if we recall from last time, we figured out what the secret was that was so important to the Vanderbush family. And so important that Cassandra had to try to keep it hidden. And now, we are back on the trail. We are going to be doing a little breaking and entering. Well, not necessarily breaking and entering, more or less we're just going through and talking to everybody in their rooms. I should make myself known before entering.
Entrez.
And we also kind of should apologize to the Comtesse, since we lost her temper with her last time. But I mean, the Comtesse's room, it would be rude not to address her before searching her room. But at the same time, we should probably apologize as well.
Detective, what a pleasure. I did not expect to see you in my chambers.
In a purely professional capacity, I can assure you.
There is no need to act so stiff, Detective.
Madame, after the revelation of your actions last night, I'm afraid my sense of humor is all but gone.
I will not apologize again for merely trying to help. Shall we get straight to it then? Let us not waste your time any further, Detective.
Ooh, still icy.
That would be Inga. She has been one of the most promising young women that has come from the shelter.
Madame Vandenbosch took in a young lady from your shelter.
There is no need to sound so surprised, Detective. She does have a heart.
I did not mean to sound so cruel. I just did not expect Madame to hire someone of that background after the incident with her previous maid, Florette.
People change, Detective. You should not judge someone on their past actions.
Jeez, I don't know. I mean, with the way she was so hasty to get the Major involved. I don't know.
Believe me, Countess, I know that only too well.
Be careful, Detective. That almost sounded like a compliment.
It is your actions in this house that have been questionable, Madame. Your work outside is something that many more could take note of.
We do what we can. We wouldn't be doing a very good job if I could only help one girl. I in fact found work for one of them as a maid in Monsieur da Silva's house recently.
She has fitted into Monsieur's home well.
What is better, Detective? That she remained in an abusive house, or she is able to rebuild her life with an honest wage in a prosperous house?
I mean, she's got a point. Granted, De Silva's still a little sus.
When put like that, is she happy in her position?
The happiest she has been in years. I check in with them all as often as possible. And if there was a problem, I would know.
I am glad to hear that more girls are building a better future for themselves, and it is with the help from the Comtesse that it has been able to happen. You see, that's another reason why I think that women's shelters should get a little bit more funding from the state and from the government. Just saying. I'm just saying. You know, don't mean to like push or anything or get off topic, but this woman's background is that she runs a woman's shelter and helps these girls like get out of abusive lives and give them a brand new start. But yet we can't necessarily do the same here in the US. I'm just saying. I know I'm being overly critical and shit, but you know. I'm just saying.
Merci, madame.
Cool. Alright. Now that we got that. So. She helped Ernesto find a maid. She works at a women's shelter. She helped Inge get hired. Wonders of modern technology, what a joy it must be to have music in one's home. Funny. Just looking around. Perhaps the happy couple's engagement has someone in a particularly romantic mood. Geez, that's why she flirts with us.
Huh.
Of course, go ahead, clear that out. How to plant?
Aha.
Yeah, I'm just like doing that. First aid kit. First aid kit full of medical equipment, bandages, plasters, antiseptics, and a pair of scissors. Well, yeah, she was hinted at as being a nurse. Perhaps a present for the family as a thank you for their hospitality. Go ahead and get the grandfather clock out of the way.
Oh.
Alright.
Go ahead, detective.
Perhaps I was a little rash. There's the apology.
A compliment and now an apology. Well, detective, you certainly have changed your tune.
There was something I was still unsure of. You mentioned that your training was some years ago.
From my days as a nurse, oui.
If that is so, why would you have brought several pieces of equipment usually found in a physician's bag?
One must always be prepared, detective.
Prepared? At an engagement celebration?
If I had not brought them, I would not have been able to assist you last night. Perhaps you should be thankful for my precaution and not so suspicious.
Had she not brought them at all, I would not have asked such a question.
Merci, madame.
So she came in with medical supplies. Even though she claimed that she was being prepared. Have you ever guarded Jacqueline Conrad? It is time I should question her on a conversation with the Major before searching her room. Certainly. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way.
Detective, what can I do for you?
Mademoiselle, I am sure you understand my reasoning for such intrusion.
If it's going to clear my name, be my guest.
If you wouldn't mind answering some questions, it can hopefully be cleared faster.
Like I said, he's not the man he wants everyone to think he is.
Oui, but how is it you came to that conclusion?
You don't really want me to recount every conversation I've had with him, do you?
There is one particular I had in mind.
Tell me about the argument.
An argument would imply it was a two-way conversation.
And that is not how it was?
Here it is. I've been helping Angeline get exposure, her marriage to Gideon is big news, and his work is really paving the way for others. I saw the chance to get their names out there, and he didn't like it.
Well, I mean, I'm not surprised. If their names get out there, his name gets out there.
What was there not to like?
Your guess is as good as mine, detective. But if I had to, I'd say he was jealous it wasn't his name at the top of the article.
And his reason to storm off?
Oh, you know about that. Let's just say I didn't accept his pathetic attempt to get me to stop the story. If you're gonna try and pay someone off, at least make it worth their while.
I thought the Major would only be supportive of Mademoiselle Angeline. There must be more to why he would not want her success to be known.
You've really got a fascination with that guy, huh?
I would not say fascination. An interest, perhaps.
Well, I'll save you the bother of trying to find out more about him. He's not that interesting. In fact, he's a bit of a wimp if you ask me.
That is not the impression I got of him.
That's because you've only seen the side of him he wants you to. He knows what to say in front of the right people. But behind closed doors, he's clueless.
Clueless in what way?
Let me guess. The first thing he told you was that he was a union leader. No, the voice of the people.
A man that is proud of his work is not something to be sneered at.
Don't get me wrong, he has a way with words, and he can certainly rally a crowd. But that's about it. At the end of the day, he's a representative and nothing more. He's got to play the part, not just learn the lines.
Mademoiselle does not think particularly highly of Monsieur Becker. She is a strong, independent woman, but to use the term wimp is an unnecessary attack on his character.
Merci, mademoiselle. I shall leave you to relax.
Sure thing, detective. And if you change your mind on that exclusive about that shooting...
If I do change it, you shall be the first to know.
Also, the shooting that they're referring to, we actually got a small glimpse of in the beginning intro of this game. Because apparently Hercule Poirot tried to stop it and it didn't work out. So he got reassigned to the country where we're introduced to the Van de Bosch family. Among them, a recent article by Jackie Conrad about the riots linked to Ernesto's factory. Peaceful strikes turn to loss of lives as violence breaks out on Frontline. Following the tragic events in a city that has darkened the spirits of the people and brought to a screeching halt the rising defiance of the working class, the area has been cordoned off and police presence at the scene has increased. Factory security forces have been asked to step down and the powers handed over to law enforcement services. Workers laid down their tools, switched off all machinery, and stood together shoulder to shoulder as the fight for fair pay and conditions raged on. What started as peaceful protest by those employed at the factories has turned into a battle of class, with support for the workers coming from all over the city. Although reports have not been confirmed, sources state that the violence broke out following a second-wave surge of supporters. Official numbers have not been published, but it is believed that as many as 8 workers have lost their lives in the fighting. The Workers' Frontline has been considered as a representation of the people and working class of Belgium that now refuse to work in such demanding conditions for such a demeaning and insufficient wage. Wow, kind of sounds like modern-day, 2024 US. I'm sorry. I'm getting political again. Chief Commissioner Larolle has confirmed that the outbreak of violence and resulting civilian deaths are being investigated, and an official statement is to be made in the coming days. Well, that was definitely interesting, and it also gives us some insight. So apparently there was a peaceful protest at one of the factories, and it ended in violence. What's to say that the Major's security consultation was involved in this? Oh, cupboard.
Huh.
Nothing of interest in here. A pocket knife. I presume this belongs to Jackie. Chasing a good story may lead her into some precarious situations. Surprising. Cluttered workstation. Jackie has set up a makeshift office in her room. She must bring her work with her everywhere. This woman's a workaholic. Not surprising. Mr. Artigue spotted leaving the Velvet Tickle Friday at 23:15. Cambrai House has been poaching off neighboring land. Boar, deer, and duck. Maggie to follow up. Miss Bont found her husband in their marital bed with a young maidservant. Testament for maid needed. Mr. Denal overheard the cackling crow speaking poorly of King Leopold. He said questionable ideas. We say doubtful, skeptical, shady. Notes from Francis by Monday. Huh. Else? Nope. Alright. Now we get to talk to Jackie again.
Go right ahead, Detective.
Now that we have read that article, I was surprised to learn Monsieur de Silva and the Major worked together.
All Felix cared about was money and filling his pockets with it. That's why he got into bed with de Silva.
The Major was not in need of money, though.
Need and want are two very different things. Did he need to move here and leech off the Madame? No, but he wanted to.
Tell me your opinion of their work together.
As far as I know, de Silva hired him to work security. He was worried what could happen to his precious factories if things got ugly.
And your reporters were there to cover the story when it did turn that way.
My reporters go where there is news to be told.
And you predicted the violence that occurred?
Anyone could see that was gonna happen. If you ask me, Hugo should have acted sooner.
Oh, boy.
Merci, mademoiselle. I shall leave you to relax.
So, now we got done talking to Jackie, who actually gave us quite a bit. It's time to hit the other suspects again. Here we are in Mademoiselle Angeline and Gideon's room. I wonder what we shall find. I was hoping to find either one of them to talk to them, but I guess not. There's the drinks club.
Huh.
Cycle through that. Try to pay attention to what's actually truly important.
Oh.
So like the fireplace, the grandfather clock, the window.
Aha.
Like those can all just be cycled through.
Huh.
I could have mistaken it for my own. So Gideon's room is pristine, so the guy's got a thing for cleanliness.
Huh.
It seems that they used to be closer. Perhaps their recent behavior was merely a facade. Could it be possible that Gideon collaborated with Sakurai? Aww. Kinda reminds me of a picture of me and my sister. Which, I mean, in all cases, if it does end up being that way, like, I would entirely and completely understand it. I'd kill for my sister, and I'd cover for her. And she'd do the same for me. I think. There doesn't seem to be anything of interest in here. So, the whole room is pristine. I don't think Gideon's got, like, anything over here. I'm making sure there's nothing else that I missed. And it don't look like there is anything that I missed. With all the west guest rooms searched, I should make my way to the guest rooms on the east of the first floor. There must be evidence of collusion somewhere. Wait, which floor are we on? Oh, we're on the second floor. That's to the Major's study. I thought there was like an achievement that you get for returning. Oh well. I haven't figured that one out. There is also an achievement that you get for returning by yourself to the scene of the crime a second time. Which I didn't know you could do. But apparently you can. Alright. That's Jackie's room. I can't go to the library, so we gotta go around here. Inge.
Mademoiselle, we meet again.
Bonjour, Monsieur Poirot. Pardon, Détective Poirot.
Just a detective is quite all right.
Bon, can I help you with something?
It was you that alerted the house to the Major's body, was it
I
not?
was taking him a plate of food, but he didn't answer to my knocking.
You then entered the study.
I did. He wasn't moving. He just lay there.
I did not mean to upset you again. Seeing him there would be troubling for anyone, and I'm sure it is not a memory you wish to relive.
Tell me about your relationship with the other staff.
I suppose we're like a family. We argue, but most of the time we get along.
Mm-hmm. Coffee.
You must all be quite close, then.
Some more than others.
You refer to whom, mademoiselle?
Well, Maman Ray, sorry, Rihanna, she's been here the longest, and she's very close with Lizzie on account of Luke.
How is it Mademoiselle Elizabeth's late fiance connects them?
Maman Ray is Luke's sister. You didn't know that?
Oh. I forgot that little bit.
I thought she would have said. She talks about him all the time. It must have been awful, losing him in those riots. Apparently, he was right at the front when they were charged. They didn't stand a chance. If I had been the one responsible for his death, I wouldn't want Maman Ray looking for me.
Mademoiselle Rihanna, Maman Ray, she has expressed her desire for revenge.
Every time she talks about what happened.
How is it that the knowledge of Luke's death has eluded me for so long? The death of the brother is certainly motive enough. I did not see an aggressive side to Mademoiselle Rihanna when we spoke, but I wonder if she would act on such impulses for revenge if the opportunity arose. I mean, I would. If somebody hurt or killed my sister in any way, I would. Just saying, a bit of a morality compass. If you do not mind me inquiring what brought you to the women's shelter.
I guess you wouldn't know anything about life on the streets.
It is not an experience I have had to face personally, but I understand that many are forced into it, and the lifestyle that comes with it.
The lifestyle of a thief, you mean?
Put rather bluntly, oui.
You are the first officer that has not taken one look at me and pulled out their handcuffs.
Mademoiselle, I can see you have turned your life around, and I commend you on your efforts.
Without the Countess, I would probably be rotting in a cell somewhere.
There is an obvious alliance to the Comtesse, and an understandable one at that.
Merci, mademoiselle.
Well, yeah. And we unlocked a new mind map. Inge may seem nothing more than an innocent young maid, but there is something she is withholding. If I am to solve the cases before me, I must learn what it is. So, yeah. Can't go there just yet. But let's hit Zachariah's bedroom. I wonder if he's sober. I know I keep hitting on him. I wonder if Monsieur Zachariah is as seemingly innocent as his brother. I should speak with him before searching his room. Hey, handsome. How you doing?
Monsieur Demir, I hope you are feeling better today.
Nothing a good night's sleep couldn't fix.
Très bien. I wonder if you would be up to discussing certain matters with me.
Whatever you need.
I'm sorry if dealing with the Major's body brought up any familiar emotions.
I lost my taste for death a long time ago, but it had to be done. I'm certainly in no rush to be carrying a dead body again, though.
Give him a hug. I would give him a hug.
Most understandable. I shall extend the same gratitude to you as I did to your brother.
You've spoken to him already. How is he?
Perhaps that should be a question you ask him yourself.
Yeah, maybe.
I spoke with your brother about your past.
I bet he had a lot to say. He always did have an opinion on the war.
When I say your past, I refer to your past as brothers.
Okay, well, what did he say?
It seems you both had the same sentiment for this party. Perhaps the bridges that you thought were once burnt are in fact primed to be reconstructed.
We'll see how probable that reconstruction is going to be. Until he sees my point of view, I don't know how we can move forward.
What is there for him to understand before the bond can be repaired?
He lost his friends in the war, the same as everyone. But somehow he has forgiven. I'm sorry, Detective, I can't. And Gideon just doesn't understand that.
Oh, because the Major was on the opposite side. After speaking with Monsieur Gideon about his brother's state of mind, I think the best thing for them both would be a reconciliation. There is something about Monsieur Zachariah's story that he is leaving out, though. The death of his friends and comrades weighs heavy on him. And it's got something to do with the Major. Your brother was talking with the Comtesse while in the saloon. I was not aware they were so close.
Those two, close.
They must share something in common to be able to hold a conversation for the time they did.
If there is one thing I know about my brother, it's that he will not. No. He cannot be rude. He just doesn't have it in him.
Was it not your brother that punched Monsieur Hagen?
Ah, that's different. He was asking for it. If you put my brother in a room with 5 socialites like her, he would work his way around every single one of them, offering his full attention and finest manners.
Merci for your assistance, monsieur.
Alright. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna rummage through your room.
Huh.
The room is littered with mess, cigarette butts discarded right next to the ashtray.
Ah.
Of course, the crap about the fire. Which is all just like... an ornamental dagger from Zachariah's time in the war.
Aha.
And of course the pot plant.
Oh.
Stuff like that could be like a part of Zachariah's past. Like he only came in with boots and a backpack.
Always got time for my favorite detective.
There is a particular item I found while conducting my
The
search.
dagger. I wondered how long it would take for that to become an issue.
I shall give you the opportunity to explain the reason for it being here before I jump to any conclusions.
It was going to be a wedding gift for Gideon. I've maybe not been the best brother in recent years. I thought this could make up for some of it. After what happened to the Major, I thought it was a bit tasteless.
You did not see it fitting to tell me you were harboring a rather sizable knife in your room?
I wouldn't say harboring. And I wasn't expecting to be a suspect in a murder.
He's got a point.
Merci for your assistance, monsieur.
Alright, cool. So we've got one thing. I talked to Zachariah about it.
Order and method. That is the way to solve the problem. I cannot see the logic in this.
I wonder if it was...
I must act on thought and fact, not on impulse.
You gotta be kidding me. I was one off.
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
The Demia brothers' estranged relationship is enough to suggest that they would not have worked together. So they're unlikely to work together. But even still, there's still a bit of a relationship between them that Zachariah could, you know, would be more than happy to do anything for his brother. Ah, now we're in Monsieur Becker's room. Since he's not here, let's take a look. Alright. Inside Hugo's notebook, a hasty scribble regarding a meeting with who I assume Ernesto. Curious. We got that. Come on now. Give me the grandfather clock so that way I can go ahead and scroll through it. Thank you. Ooh. It seems he has been attempting to write a speech of some kind unsuccessfully, though. I wonder, does this fit a pattern of behavior with Hugo? You underestimate the power of a man's defiance. Your men, you are in a position to bring all of this to an end. All we ask is what we deserve. If you do not retract your men, they will be met with equal force, too forceful. Your weapons may beat our bodies, but they will not bruise our hearts, spirits. These are the men that have built our great nation, country, and will continue to. Money will not save your soul. Huh. None of those are particularly uplifting and inspiring. But I don't blame him for throwing away. Sometimes creating content like that can be a little hard. Photograph. With so many siblings, it must have been difficult for Hugo to get attention. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 8 of them all together. So Hugo had like 7 other siblings. Got a bigger family than me.
Oh.
Well, then again, I just have my sister, so... There's a plant!
Huh.
Plant! Plant, plant, plant. Plants are friends. Plants are friends. Anything over here? Oh. Oh. Anything here? Ouch. Stay away from my lunch, Nina. My lunch is sitting next to me. Cat keeps sniffing at it.
This will not get me any closer to my goal.
So... there we
Another
go.
success. I never doubted myself.
In Jackie's opinion, she doesn't value Hugo very highly. Would he collaborate with anyone else, I wonder? So, Jackie was unlikely to cooperate with Hugo.
I must take a different approach if I am to uncover...
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Come,
No.
my little grey cells. We must think logically.
But isn't that logical? Ow. It's gotta be something around here.
Is
No.
there something I am not seeing?
What is it that we're missing? Oh.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
Hugo and Ernesto confirmed each other's alibis. It's possible they may have colluded to murder the Major. Can I find anything to support this? And now we head to the next guest room. Alright. Business-minded Monsieur de Silva's room. Oh, look! Of course he wears a hat. He wears a hat.
Monsieur de Silva, I am sure you understand the necessity for this type of search.
Not really, Detective. Your speech was rather spirited. But it did not give me much faith in your investigation.
I have not had my abilities questioned to my face by one of those I suspect of a crime before.
Oof.
Well, if you wish to prove me wrong, you should hurry up and find Felix's killer.
See, that shows how close you are, because you don't refer to him as the Major, or Mr. Hagen, or Major Hagen, for that matter.
And I hope, with your help, monsieur, I shall.
Alright, Madame Van de Bush spoke through your work with her late husband.
Yes, I helped him invest some money. Unfortunately, he was not the businessman he thought he was.
Madame Van den Bosch had a very similar view. At least he could have taken solace that you were both in the same position.
I think you're confused, Detective. It was Edwin that lost his fortune, not I.
Forgive my naivete. If you were helping him make viable investments, would you not have seen the same opportunity for yourself?
I told him about the opportunities. I did not tell him to put his whole family's wealth into it. The prospect of doing good meant more to him than his profit margins. He was bound to fail.
The business declared bankruptcy.
It did, until it was purchased for a fraction of its worth and made the new owner a small fortune.
I'm beginning to see Monsieur de Silva's more ruthless side. Sounds as though the Viscount was trying to at least make a positive change, but perhaps he was missing Monsieur de Silva's cutthroat edge. What we spoke of last night regarding Madame von de Bush.
Everything that I want to say on that matter has already been said.
I understand, monsieur. But what I would like to know is, was the late Viscount aware of your feelings towards his wife?
Excuse me, detective, but you have crossed the line.
Cross the line like an attempt to bankrupt a business partner and friend so that you'll be able to swoop in and impress a certain target of your affections.
You make such ridiculous accusations without a shred of proof.
Your reaction at the mere suggestion is proof enough, monsieur. While I cannot arrest you for betrayal of a friend, I can hope your conscience does not forget, and that will be punishment enough.
Monsieur de Silva's actions are not a criminal offense, but if there was a penalty for deception and deceit, he would surely receive a life sentence. If he has gone to such lengths before, what would stop him from committing a similar act again, this time with the Major? I know of you have worked with the Major, but what do you know of his finances?
He didn't have much to speak of. I was always surprised at the life he lived.
Surprised in what way?
Well, considering it wasn't that long ago he came to me asking about work, I didn't think he was in such good financial shape.
You offered him a position.
Nothing that he was willing to lower himself to. That's when he began talking about what else he could do for me.
The Major works security for your factories.
If you can call what him and his team did security. For the money I paid, I did not expect them to be so reckless.
And there it is.
It was a considerable amount you paid him?
There's no need to divulge amounts, but it was certainly more than was expected.
One would expect a business of Monsieur de Silva's caliber to have agreed a price for the Major's services. Why would he allow the Major to barter more?
He said they were all professionals, but I saw nothing of the sort. He said he had worked with them all in the army as their superior officer. They were men that could be trusted.
But that was not the case?
I had not even met them before they arrived on site. They brought their own equipment. They looked like they knew what they were doing.
And this equipment, it included the weapons that injured and killed the workers?
It was not much of a choice, detective. I said they didn't need them, but Felix said it was essential. He said he knew better.
The more Monsieur talks, the shadier his dealings with the Major become. It's beginning to sound as though the riots were no accident.
That is all for now.
So the Major's team probably started the fight. A letter stating the blackmailer will reveal information of his questionable business dealings. Monsieur de Silva, at first you may question the nature of this letter, but by its conclusion you will know that what you have fought so hard to keep hidden could be far from it. You have spent years feeding off of the hard-working backs of others and offering nothing in return. Your workers continue to take their lives into their own hands day after day with your shoddy, damaged, and dangerous machines for a fraction of what they deserve. Deal after deal is made, and while your pockets become fatter, lighting them with more of your blood money, it is your workers that must pay the price. The mistreatment and pain that you have caused does not only reside in the factories that you own, but the house that you live in. You do not value the lives of those that allow you to live the opulent life that you do, and I will not allow that to continue. I can no longer sit back and watch as you disregard any sense of integrity or morality and continue to remain on your self-made pedestal, lording over those that deserve so much more. It is time you paid the price for your crimes, and the cost is 5,000 francs. It is a small price to pay for my silence, for if I do not receive it before Friday, it will not be cash you are paying, but rather years behind bars. Bring the money to in a small brown paper parcel addressed to Monsieur Cordier to the post office on Rue, I'm going to butcher this, Rule des entrepots. Give it to the cashier and leave. If you do as requested, you will not hear from me again. You may continue your life of luxury. It is obvious you do not value others' lives, but I urge you to consider what yours is worth. Ooh. French is not my first language, you could tell.
Aha.
Yeah. We'll go over that in a second. Oh, I didn't get any music with this one. No, I want the letter opener. Thank you. Razor sharp letter opener, almost brand new, lies discarded on the floor. A contract for a partnership between Ernesto and Hugo. It's missing Hugo's signature. 12.1. This agreement is governed by the laws of the Kingdom of Belgium. Both parties agree to the following. 1. Current workers' strike shall cease in all manners and forms. 2. Factory floor, machine operators and supervisors shall return to their positions immediately. 3. Terms of the above contract shall be implemented and relevant action taken directly. Signed, M. Ernesto da Silva, factory owner and employer, and then Hugo Beckers. So, what have you got for me?
What is it now, detective?
Before we do the push, were you expecting some correspondence?
Excuse me? Detective, I think you are beginning to lose your mind.
I do not think it is unreasonable to question why you would feel the need to bring a letter opener with you.
Really, detective? If I had stabbed a man with it, do you really think I would have left it lying out in my room?
Monsieur de Silva is correct. It was a stretch to believe someone would be so careless. The murder weapon remains somewhere in the house, though. Monsieur de Miard invited Monsieur Becker so that you two might sit down and find some common ground.
Yes, and no one asked him to.
But surely it is beneficial to both parties. Your profits must have been affected.
There are barely any profits to speak of.
Why have those talks not taken place and a deal arranged?
Monsieur Beckers has made no attempt to speak with me and offered no counter-offer. The ball is in his court, detective.
Although it is Monsieur de Silva's wages and treatment of his staff that is in question, it sounds as though he is at least trying to resolve the issue, surprisingly unlike Monsieur Beckers.
I have spoken of a potential blackmail ring, and yet you still kept your letter to yourself.
It is none of your business, and it is nothing more than a cheap trick to have me admit something that is not true.
If that were the case, it would be strange for you to have kept the letter and brought it with you, would it not?
Your persistence is a trait I do not enjoy.
Well, it's the only way for me to get any answers. Monsieur de Silva has remained blunt, if not curt, with his responses to my questions. Perhaps it would be best to act in a courteous and empathetic manner so that he may be more forthcoming with the truth of his blackmail letter and its contents. So, courteous and empathetic. So let's go ahead and get to the point.
No reason, detective. Merely saving you from wasting your time.
I will be the judge of that. I would like to know about any and all evidence that may help my investigation. I trust there is nothing else you deem a waste of my time.
Of course not, officer. It's not as though you think I'm harboring some illicit secret. The letter was a pathetic attempt to intimidate me. Nothing more.
Oh, concern.
I have never heard so much rubbish in all my life. I value those that work hard and deserve it.
That suggests there are some that you do not respect.
Yes, well, why should I praise someone for doing a poor job? You make me sound like some monster.
Monsieur, the letter does not only discuss your questionable business dealings, but also cases of abuse against your staff. Both accusations that must be taken very seriously.
Detective, there is a difference between telling a member of my staff what to do and abuse.
And it is you that decides where that line is drawn?
In my house? Yes, it is.
Monsieur does not like being pressed on the subject of how he treats his staff. If he had nothing to hide, there should be no need for such a reaction. Do you have any ideas as to which staff member may have expressed their abuse?
Please stop calling it that. I treat all my servants exactly how I always have, and no one has complained before.
That does not mean your behavior is appropriate.
They have one chance. If they are not doing the job they are hired to do, they are gone. You would be surprised how many staff expect an easy ride.
I did not expect Monsieur to treat his staff the same as his friends, but I also did not expect him to treat them like stray dogs.
Is there a specific member of staff that may have expected such a ride?
There is one girl, a new maid. I didn't expect great things from her, but Comtesse de Vos promised me she could do what was required.
This must be the young girl that the Comtesse spoke of. Perhaps the positions she is finding for these girls are not the best fit.
That is all for now.
Okay. Wait, was there... Yes, investigate blackmail. Cool. Alright.
I must take a different approach if I am to uncover the truth.
Okay, so that didn't work out. I wonder.
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
I am doubtful this duo will collaborate. Would Ernesto deal with another member of the house? Perhaps someone who never confirmed his alibi. The only other person that we can really think of...
What a revelation!
Ernesto doesn't strike me as the sort of man that would ask for help no matter how important. But, at the same time, he might have asked for something. So. I wonder.
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Margot is making her shelter girls do her dirty work finding dirt on members of the social elite. That is... If Margot is the one... that is...
What is it now, detective?
Did you speak with the Comtesse directly about hiring a servant from the shelter?
She approached me. I thought it was rather brash.
In what way?
Assuming that I would want to take on another servant, and one from such a troubled background. She is running the charity, not I.
Monsieur, there is something you are keeping from me. Your business relationship with the Major was obviously towing the line of legality.
When he came to me, I told him that with the factories on strike and my profits pouring down the drain, I had nothing for him. But he said he could help me get them all back to work and the factories earning. His rates were steep, but he said he knew what needed to be done, and he was prepared to do it. A week passed and they were all still on strike. In fact, even more had joined them. He made excuse after excuse, demanding more and more money for the job to be done. But he never actually told me what he was going to do.
The riots.
I had no idea they were going to charge them like that. How was I meant to know?
Called it. Called it. Called it. But Ernesto here apparently did not have any idea of what was going to happen.
And even following such a tragedy, he continued to demand money from you.
He said if he wanted my silence, it would cost. Do you have any idea what it could do to my livelihood, my name? If it got out that I had paid the so-called security that did that.
So pretty much the Major's security group started the riots, pretty much. They attacked the workers.
I have every idea, monsieur. You hired a militia to take action against your own workers. You deserve whatever name is chosen for being so morally bereft in your decision-making.
Yeah, but still, gotta be a little bit sympathetic for the guy. I mean, he didn't know that the Major was gonna do that.
I didn't know that was what he was going to do. You must believe me.
I have to believe nothing but the truth. And the truth, monsieur, is that it is not only the Major that has the blood of those men on his hands. That is all for now.
Ooh. Ooh. I'm still reeling from that revelation. So the Major hired guys that he worked with and had work under him while he was in the army, and they got hired by De Silva for security. But instead of providing security, they outright attacked the workers. Whew. Now, there's one other thing.
Magnifique.
Margot may know more than she's letting on if she has an inside link with the staff of the house. I found no clear evidence of the guests working together in any capacity. What has come clear is the Comtesse's connection to the staff. Could there be something more to their relationship? Alright. So none of the guests are likely to collude with each other. Which is good, it kind of takes off some of the suspicion a little bit. But at the same time...
Is there something you need, detective?
Tell me about your true relationship with the Comtesse.
She helped me at the shelter, and with this job.
That I am already aware of. What I am not is what else she tasked you with.
Pardon, detective?
I know that your position as a servant in this house is not your only job. What did Comtesse de Vos ask you to do while in this house?
She said I had to do what she asked, or I would be back on the street. I didn't want to do it. If anyone found out, I would be the prime suspect.
Madame Van de Bush would have been aware of young Inge's past, and she is worried that they would accuse her What was asked of her must be related to her past as a thief.
Merci, mademoiselle.
So... I wonder... She got the job from Margot, and she was previously prosecuted.
Another success. I never doubted myself.
Inge has admitted that her work in the house is not wholly honest. Well, she did say that she was called a thief.
Is there something you need, detective?
What was it that the Comtesse asked you to steal from the house?
Nothing. She said I was to take nothing.
If it was not something she wished you to take, what was it?
She wanted me to find out information about the family and Monsieur Hagen.
And there it is.
Why did she request that?
At first I didn't know, but when I heard about Mademoiselle Angeline being blackmailed, and then the Major, I knew she had used what I found.
Perhaps my suspicions of Monsieur Sterling's involvement with the Major's safe were incorrect, and his key was not lost, but stolen.
I knew Monsieur Archie had a key, and it would be easy to get it from him.
You knew that the Major asked Monsieur Sterling to access the safe from time to time, and if anything was ever discovered missing, he would surely take the blame.
I never took anything. I only told the Comtesse what I had found.
And that was?
About Monsieur Hagen and the Madame's relationship. And Angeline.
And we get the confirmation that again.
I'm sure the Comtesse was pleased to hear such valuable information.
She said I had done a good job, but I needed proof. That's why I went back and got the letters last night.
So it was young Inge that beat Madame von de Busch to the safe last night. But why would they be left in such a precarious fashion? When I returned to the study this morning, the letters remained out in the safe open.
I fetched the letters again and took them to the Comtesse last night. But she shouted at me and said what a stupid girl I was.
You were only doing as she requested.
She said it was too dangerous for her to have them with you around. That's when I returned them to the study. I thought I heard someone on the stairs, so I just threw them back. It was dark as I dared not turn the light on. Someone would have seen it.
Trying to slot a key into a lock in the dark is no easy feat. That would explain the scratches on the safe. If Madame von de Busch had only tried to retrieve the letter minutes earlier, she would have surely crossed paths with Inge.
Merci, mademoiselle.
And so the plot thickens. So... Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. So we know Margot was looking for information that she can use. And we know Inge stole Archibald's key.
Is there something I am not seeing?
Oh, wait, that's right. So now that we got confirmation of that...
Things are beginning to become
sometimes
clearer.
I just get ahead of myself. I thought it was irresponsible for Archibald to lose his key, but now its disappearance makes sense. So, she stole the key.
I must act on thought and fact, not on impulse.
Order of events, order of events. There we
Some would
go.
say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
I wonder how many secrets the house holds for Inge to find.
Magnifique.
If there is somewhere in this house where a secret lies, it will surely be found in the hidden room. My suspicion of the Comtesse's connection with Inge was correct. She was using the young girl to find out anything and everything she could about the family, while the Comtesse need not even get her hands dirty. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Which means the Comtesse could possibly be behind the blackmail.
Is there something you need, Detective?
I just need you to confirm that. What else have you relied to the Comtesse?
That's all. I swear. I heard Monsieur Archie and Monsieur Felix talking about a storeroom, but I haven't found it.
Is the Countess aware of this room?
I told her it was somewhere in the house, but I didn't know where. She wasn't happy with me that I hadn't found it yet.
I believe if young Inge knew the location of the secret store, she would have been She would have been forthcoming with it. It may be naive on my part, but she has already incriminated herself and has nothing else to
Merci,
lose.
mademoiselle. Your honesty today has helped me greatly.
I suppose that I will lose my position at the house now.
That is not my decision to make. But when the whole truth is revealed, it will not be the pawns the law looks to convict. We shall be coming for the queen.
Chess reference. So, with Margot having several links to the staff,
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
such a calculating web of lives and secrets, what most could possibly justify such devious actions? Finally, I have unmasked the blackmailer. Mademoiselle Angeline and the other recipients of such letters may no longer live in fear. Comtesse de Voix shall pay for her crimes. So, we figured out who the blackmailer is.
Mademoiselle, merci for coming.
Have you had a breakthrough, Detective?
I have. Finally, I have the news you have awaited.
Please, Detective, don't hold me in suspense.
I finally uncovered the identity of one holding the Vanderbush name to ransom.
Oh my! I feel faint at the thought of knowing who could have done this to us.
It is said to keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. It is Comtesse de Voss that is behind the letters.
I don't believe it! What about the Major's letter?
Not only his, but a letter to Monsieur da Silva.
She was blackmailing him as well? Detective, I just don't know what to say.
Take a moment, mademoiselle. It is a lot of information to take in.
I just don't understand why she would do such a cruel thing.
What do you know of young Inge's past?
She has never been particularly forthcoming with it. Only that she was homeless for some time and that she was at the women's shelter before here.
And it is there that the Comtesse abused her power and manipulated her to uncover secrets of the family.
All this time she has been working for Margot, doing her dirty work?
I am afraid so, mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle is in a state of shock to learn that such a close friend of the family has betrayed them in such a cruel way. It must be devastating.
Is Maman aware?
You are the first I have told, mademoiselle. Next will be the authorities.
I'm afraid that we'll have to wait.
S'il te plaît, Mademoiselle, we must go through the correct channels. I can't speak French. I swear I can't speak French, and I'm sorry for anybody who watches this, who is French.
And we will. I want to see her punished to the fullest extent of the law. But we cannot telephone anyone, as the lines are still down.
Monsieur Archibald informed me earlier. I had hoped they would be working again. Last night's snow must have caused more damage than expected.
Last night? They have been done all weekend, Detective.
Ooh! Someone's in trouble.
Detective? Are you okay?
No. No. He's not okay. Because you just confirmed that Archibald's been lying to us. How could I have been such a fool? I saw Monsieur Sterling talk on the phone, but I heard no ring.
Detective Poirot?
It was all a lie, a scene acted out for my benefit to throw me off the scent. If I believed that the Major was still alive at that time, I had no reason to investigate anyone's whereabouts beforehand, anyone being Monsieur Sterling and his staff.
Would you like me to fetch you a glass of water, Detective?
My apologies, mademoiselle. I was taken by surprise for a moment, but I have regained my composure. A glass of water is not required. Would you excuse me? Merci, mademoiselle.
And now we're going into Chapter 7. My patience has grown thin. The guests and the staff of this house think it is acceptable to lie to my face when questioned and obstruct my investigation, but no more. We shall see how Monsieur Sterling and his staff fare under some pressure. Which unlocks a new mind map, seeing as Angeline has confirmed that the phone lines have been down for the entire weekend, when Archibald said they went down during the storm last night. I have been lied to for the last time. My suspicions initially led me to the guests, but now they are firmly placed on the staff. Monsieur Sterling and Mademoiselle Rihanna cannot hide behind their lies any longer. Oh, excuse me. But that is where we will end it here, folks. I have also picked up some more games that are kind of sort of mystery, but at the same time also lean to the horror genre, which I'm looking forward to. They are demos though, so the games themselves are not necessarily out yet. One of which I'm also looking forward to as a bit of a fan of the series, Alone in the Dark, will be dropping March 20th. And I'm looking forward to possibly getting the full game, but I will be playing the demo later on this week, so I'm going to be taking a bit of a break from Orient Express, just a little bit. But without further ado, I hope you guys have enjoyed this playthrough so far. I hope y'all have been enjoying my commentary a little bit. And I will definitely catch y'all on the next video, so later! Bye! Oh, and before I forget, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Feeds my cat, and feeds me. Please? I'm not gonna beg. Anywho, love my followers, and I'll catch y'all later. So, later! Bye! Mwah!